Slowest week in sports, but that does not mean we don't have a lot to talk about because we do. And it's really not that slow of a week because we have Home Run Derby tonight, All-Star game tomorrow, plus we got a couple good World Cup games too. The World Cup coming in to save us again. For those of you that don't like the World Cup, I don't know how you don't. Especially this weekend, it was awesome. And like I said, it's done its job. It has gotten us through the summer, getting us to football season. We are right around the corner. I mean, we are so close. SEC Media Days next week in Tampa at the Marriott. We will be there live from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., bringing you all the coverage of the SEC. We've never been there before. Have no idea what to expect. We know a lot of the Florida Gators will stop by and hang out with us. Beyond that, we don't know about anybody else.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, half the contacts that we got that Tim emailed, we got bounce backs. They weren't even the right proper people at the universities. You heard back from who? Alabama, though?
Alabama and Georgia. And Florida, obviously. But
hey, those are some pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing from Lane Kiffin and company?
Not yet.
Man, we should get Lane because it's like, yo, your dad is a legend here. His name's up at Raymond James Stadium.
That's right.
I would imagine we could get Lane, but we'll have to fight our way to the top to get him. But I'm excited for next week as a college football nerd. That'll be, usually SEC Media Days is this week. This week is the ACC. They flip-flopped. So, not as much going on this week as there usually is, but that's where the World Cup comes in to save us. How was your weekend, Tim? I know you're moving into a new apartment soon.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm very excited about that. And, yeah, my weekend was chill. Just hung out with the dog. It was extremely hot.
It was.
It's never fun.
It hasn't been super humid, but it's still been that dry. When people are like, "Oh, it's just a dry heat," that dry heat's been hot.
It's still brutal.
It was brutal this weekend. I've walked outside a couple times and I'm like, "Oof!" Like it is so hot. Now I know you're going to be moving here at the end of the month. I'm not going to lie. I got nervous when you came in today and you're like, "I'm moving," and I was happy to find out you're going to be basically in the same building because my biggest fear of having a truck is somebody I know saying, "Can you help me move?" Like for years, I didn't own a truck because I was so afraid of somebody moving, needing my help. Because I feel like you find out who your real friends are on moving day. And I have moved more than anybody probably listening. I move a lot. Now I haven't moved. Well, actually, I didn't move recently, but that was because of a hurricane. But I have moved a lot over my radio career, and so moving sucks, and I never ask anyone to help me because I don't ever want anyone to ask me. So I was relieved to find out you won't actually need the truck because you're just going to be moving down the hall.
Well, I mean, I could, if you don't mind. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, trust me, I grew up with a truck. My dad owned a truck, and it almost felt like every other weekend or every other month, that truck was being used by a family or a friend. It's just kind of like.
Do you need help moving?
No.
All right, good. I was gonna say.
Easy there, Nick.
I was gonna say, if not, if you need help moving, Chris Mathis might help you. He's a very nice guy. Although you'll have to pay him. His services don't.
Pizza and beer.
Yeah, no. He ain't gonna work for pizza and beer. He watches my dogs. He's expensive, and I feel like he comes over, uses my pool, and I feel like I shouldn't have to pay him. I give him a nice spot. It's like an Airbnb, but man, he's expensive, but he does a great job.
That's all that matters.
It's all that matters. I feel like my dogs are safe when Chris Mathis is watching them. All right. Tonight, we have Home Run Derby. The latest odds for the Home Run Derby, that is out. Do you think Junior Caminero is the favorite? I'm talking to you.
Oh, you're talking to me. Okay. I thought you were just asking the audience. I do think Junior should be the favorite. The only returning champion is Bryce Harper, so that'll be an interesting one to see how Bryce does after a while.
Junior has the second best odds.
Really?
So I'll give you the list of players. You tell me who you think is the favorite to win. Junior Caminero, Jack Caglione, Jordan Walker from the Cardinals, Ben Rice, New York Yankees. I can't stand him. Wilson Contreras, Boston, Bryce Harper, Philly, Kyle Schwarber, Philly, Munetaka Murakami. Plus,
for the White Sox, right?
I almost said his odds. Out of all of those guys that I just gave you, who do you think is favored over Junior Caminero?
I would say Kyle Schwarber.
That is correct. Kyle is the favorite, plus 330. Junior's plus 425. Caglione plus 650. Jordan Walker plus 700. Ben Rice plus 850. Feels like there's good value there. And then Bryce Harper plus 1,200 along with Wilson Contreras. And Murakami is plus 700.
Okay.
That was according to Bovada.
But Kyle Schwarber, I'm not surprised Schwarber's number one. I would love to see a home run derby final between Caminero and Schwarber. That would be a fun one.
I'm going to put my money on Junior. I'm going to bet it. I always bet the Ray. I mean, I bet Randy a couple years ago. He damn near did it. And then when he comes back, let's hope he continues to hit home runs. Otherwise, people are going to be like, you shouldn't have done the home run derby. Because we heard that before. What else did I want to get into? Oh, let's kind of recap the weekend. Did you make it out to the Trop at all this weekend for Longo's return?
No, I couldn't make it, unfortunately. I wanted to.
What the heck? It wasn't cold, or it wasn't hot inside there. It felt good. Nice 72 degrees. I wasn't going yesterday, but then last minute, my wife had mentioned going and wanted to go to the ceremony, and I'm like, you know what, let's do it. I called everybody I could for a free ticket, and I didn't get a free ticket. So we bought one for my wife in the upper deck. I did have a credential, but we wanted a pair of seats together. So last minute, we bought a pair of tickets and for the upper deck, and I also got to sit up there on Friday. That was my first experience ever experiencing the upper deck. You know, we talked about having to play an away game at a stadium, and like if you ever had to do that in public, you know, you eat something and like all of a sudden you just got to go. Upstairs bathroom on Friday at the Trop, you could have done that. That's how clean the bathrooms were upstairs. I would have felt safe.
And Nick, you are all about that.
Like I don't like to play away games, but I'm just pointing it out. When I went into the bathroom, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell my audience this bathroom was a safe spot. Now, by Sunday, I don't know if I felt the same. Not that it was dirty, but by Sunday they had been used up. But when Friday I went in there, I'm like, this is the best smelling stadium bathroom I've ever gone in. And then I look over, and of course somebody was doing exactly what I'm talking about.
So I guess by next weekend, our listeners should just sneak their way up if they're at the game and have to go on the third floor.
The third floor is where it's definitely safest at the Trop. But I did not, just for the record, I did not. I still, luckily I didn't have to, but I'm just saying if you had to, it was safe up there. I saw some of those people eating those nachos in that box. I'm like, oof. There are certain things where I see people eating and I'm like, how can you eat that in public? Like, are you going to take that chance?
Well, it's like when we talked about the ballpark food a couple months ago at the start of the year and just how some of it was just nasty.
Yeah, not that it's nasty, but it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to react well to that. So we walked around the concourse a lot, too. We went out to, like, the daiquiri deck in that area, spent some time. We were kind of bouncing all over the place. When I was in the outfield, I forgot to post the picture, but I was standing in right field. Not, like, in right field, but behind it, in front of the big video board. In the last row of the outfield, the guy right below me was watching the game on TV. He wasn't even watching the game. He was watching the game on TV.
No way.
I got a picture of it. He's looking right down at us. My wife goes, is he watching this game? And I look down and I go, he sure as hell is.
That's such a power move.
I mean, you definitely get a better view. You know, and I've always said that. TV is the best, especially for football. Now, baseball, I enjoy being at the game. Football, I really don't enjoy going to football games as much. Because the beer is cheaper at home, the bathroom is cleaner at home. I don't have to sweat. I got air conditioning. It's just 4K has changed the world. It's just made everything better. But baseball, I think, is better in person. Now, I would say Friday night, I was really excited to see, obviously, the upper deck because it's never been open my time being here. I was a little disappointed in the crowd on Friday night. I don't think they needed the upper deck open. Because it just made it look like there weren't a lot of people there. And I get it. There wasn't really much going on for the Longo weekend on Friday. That was really
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it was really Saturday and Sunday, and there were no freebies. But at the same time, I mean, you got a star in Junior Caminero on the team who just keeps crushing home runs. I finally hopped on the Junior home run bet train. And I got that on Friday.
Fantastic.
Remember, I said I wasn't going to do it during the home run streak because I didn't want to be the one that ruined it. I waited till the streak was over, then hopped on. And so won a couple bucks there thanks to Junior Caminero. And you got a first-place team. And so I was a little bit disappointed in the crowd. And you know, I pointed that out. So it looks like the attendance on Friday, 15,000. I know it's not the greatest location, and people will argue about, well, the location, this and that, and there's always some sort of excuse. And look, I understand some people can't afford it. Like yesterday, you know, we bought that pair of tickets, right? And then we bought one of those Evan Longoria refillable cups, and next thing you know, I'm $70 in, and I didn't even have to pay for parking. So it's because the credential worked for that, but the average person has to pay for the parking. So I get it. You're at $90 for two people, just for getting a soda into the door and parking. And so it can be kind of expensive, but we also live in a place where I know there's a lot of money, and there are a lot of people that can afford it. And I know there are a lot of Rays fans. I always tell people the perception is hockey's bigger and that there's more light. I still think there's more Rays fans personally. Maybe I'm off on that. Just that's how I feel. It just hosting this show, I'll talk Lightning and I'll never get a reaction from people. We talk Rays. The reaction's tremendous. People chime in on the conversation. It does feel bigger to me personally. But the perception is the Lightning are so much bigger. And so I was a little disappointed in the crowd on Friday, because I just think when the upper deck is open, you got to show up.
Absolutely.
That way we can do that more often. So I was a little bit disappointed in the crowd Friday. Not very good. 15,000. Again, when you open up the upper deck and there's probably a couple thousand up there, it made the lower bowl look even more empty. I guess I don't understand why they had that bowl open in general. Maybe they thought there was going to be an influx of people. And not to mention, if you bought tickets to Saturday and Sunday, Friday was free. So, again, little disappointed in
I will say, when I saw Junior's home run on Twitter, that's the first thing that popped into my head. I was like, wow, that doesn't look as full as I thought it would.
No, I was really disappointed. And I wrote something on Twitter this morning about it, and because so it started off with the original person on social media saying, I thought they said the Rays didn't have any fans. I'm currently waiting at least a 40-minute line to get into the Trop, and it's 2 hours before game time. Obviously, this was yesterday. And I had retweeted it, and I said, the Rays definitely have fans. That said, the crowds this weekend were better than normal, but not something to brag about. First-place team should be sold out every damn weekend. And to which a guy replied to that and said, no one wants to go to downtown St. Pete if you live in Plant City, Lakeland, Wesley Chapel, Brandon, or Riverview. Not that hard to figure it out. And then a lot of Rays fans came in and basically attacked that guy, saying, what are you talking about? Like, just go to the game. These are all excuses. And I get it. If you live far, it's a pain in the ass. But people live far from major league stadiums. A lot of them are in metro areas, and people from the suburbs drive in all the time.
Oh, yeah, I know for a fact people from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont travel to Fenway Park when they get the chance.
It's not a close drive to me in Clearwater. You're looking at 35, 40 minutes. And by the way, that drive is on 19, the worst road in the world. I hate driving on 19, especially when you get into Pinellas Park area and you're by that Home Depot and Gandy, and it's like the worst intersection in the world. I mean, it's not always convenient, but I do think we got to show up when our team is in first place. All right, new segment I want to introduce you to coming up next here on the Nick Wize Show.